there, I'm Melissa McKinnon, your friendly CEO and founder of Facial 5. Today I'm coming to you about our step ones. So our step ones are our purification or our Purify step, which is obviously cleansers. So I'm going to tell you what these cleansers do, what their key ingredients are, and what type of skin they're good for. So I'm going to start with my Orchid Ginseng Green Tea Cleanser, and it's an oxygenating cleanser, which is an amazing product for several types of skin. So primarily it's going to be your sensitive skin types because oxygen calms inflammation. So if you've got somebody who's really ruddy cheeked or red cheeked, or has rosacea, or tells you that they easily get irritated by skincare and there's hardly anything they can use. I have used this product on people who tell me they have to make their skincare in their kitchen because that's how sensitive they are. Really amazing product. Here's another thing, skin type it's good for. So it's also good for those who have combination to oily but are also sensitive. Because when you have people who break out, a lot of times people jump to an acneic cleanser. Well, guess what? Those are really harsh. And if you break out and are sensitive, that can just exacerbate your issue because you'll over dry and then you'll break out more and you'll have this vicious cycle where you're dry and then pimply and dry and then pimply. This is a great option because instead of battling those breakouts with the gentle acids that are great for that type of breakout, it's not great if you're sensitive to those acids, right? So this is great for sensitive / oily people, and it combats breakouts with oxygen, and then it also combats inflammation with oxygen. So great product. Ginseng, orchid, and green tea are the key ingredients. It's in the name. So it's a great product for your sensitive and your oily people. Now, I'm also going to talk to you about our exfoliating cleanser with jojoba beads. So this is a fabulous cleanser, and this is the one I personally use because I'm oily, but I'm not acneic. So there's a difference. I often commonly compare it to, the way we self-diagnose ourselves, because a lot of times I'll be in front of a client and they'll say, oh, I have acne. And I'll ask them, because often I'll be looking at them and thinking, you don't look like you have acne. You might have a pimple, but that's not acne. So I'll ask them, has a doctor diagnosed you? If they tell me they have not been diagnosed and that what they are judging being acneic from is because they have found a pimple on their face, then I'm not going to jump to our acneic cleanser. So I'm going to go over this one last because it's truly for people who are diagnosed acneic. So I'm oily, I'm menopausal, I do break out. This has those gentle acids that I talked about earlier. Like if you're sensitive to acids, it's not the best option for you. But I have oily and resilient skin, meaning hardly anything irritates my skin. So these gentle acids, it has salicylic acid, it has lactic acid, it also has glycolic acid and citric acid and amino acids. Those are great for balancing the pH of your skin if you're oily, pulling out the debris and the sebum out of your pores so that you can truly do a nice deep cleanse. It's got a little jojoba beads, so it's got a little bit of exfoliation, but unlike those like hard plastic beads that were polluting our oceans and are now eradicated from products, thank goodness, jojoba beads are not like super hard. They're little beads of moisture. So if you rub too hard, it'll just burst the little bead of moisture instead of causing micro tears on your skin. So I love this product, especially over like say the apricot kernel seed scrubs, because those are, if you saw apricot kernel seeds under a magnifier, they look like jagged pieces of glass. Now you don't want to rub that all over your face, believe me. Jojoba beads are super gentle, and it's just acidic enough for those who have oily skin and need to combat breakouts but are not acneic. Great product. Smells like orange peel. Smells delightful. Next, I'm going to cover our yummy coconut cleanser. So it's coconut aloe honey cleanser. And just like the orchid cleanser, those are the key ingredients in that product. It's got manuka honey and gentle oils like vitamin E, coconut oil, jojoba oil. A great product. So it's good for your normal to dry people. If your person is dry but not super Sahara Desert dry, this is a good medium. So if they're normal to dry, not super dry, it's a good middle of the road, but it does smell a lot like coconut. So you do have to love coconut to use this cleanser. I have noticed that coconut is a very polarizing scent. People either love it or they're like, ew, it smells like banana boat. So it's one way or the other. Either they think it smells like vacation and they want to slather themselves with it, or they think it smells like banana boat and they don't like the scent. So make sure to tell your clients it smells very much like the coconut oil that's in it. Next is our our organic cream cleanser. Great product, super gentle. So if you're hypersensitive, it's a very short ingredient list. So there's not a lot in here that could ever irritate anybody. It's got shea butter, cucumber extract. We've added beeswax because guess what? Beeswax is anti-inflammatory, antiviral, and antibacterial. So yes, it's a cream cleanser, but yes, it also cleans your face. It sanitizes your face, but without drying you out. A great way that I ask people if this should be their cleanser is I say, when you wash your face, do you feel like super tight, like you have to put moisturizer on right away because you're uncomfortably tight? I meet about 20% of the people I talk to, that is exactly how they would describe their skin after washing their face. Then this is the cleanser for you. You shouldn't feel like that. Like, I'm oily, so when I use this cleanser, I feel like, oh good, I feel good. Like I don't feel like oily or slimy, but I don't feel like super dry and tight because I'm not dry. Like if you're a drier skinned person, this is gonna be your nice cream cleanser that adds moisture while cleansing and antibacterializing your skin. Now I'm gonna go to our glycolic cleanser. And I'm doing this one last because I don't want people to jump to that just because they have a pimple. So I know I've already talked about how people self-diagnose, and I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm just gonna repeat myself on this one. So we tend to self-diagnose without actually getting a consultation with a doctor, right? So people say I'm acneic just because they have a pimple. Just like women, we joke about, oh, I'm PMSing, but premenstrual syndrome, the actual syndrome, needs to be treated by a doctor. It can have huge mood swings, and I mean, I've known people who even got divorced because they had untreated PMS. So just because we feel a little yucky or a little moody doesn't mean we actually have that syndrome. Just because you have a pimple doesn't mean you actually have acne. So I want people to use this who have been diagnosed acneic by a dermatologist. That's where it's safe to use. And I want you to only use it 3 times a week because it is intense and it can just completely break down a breakout, an acneic breakout, and eradicate it. But I don't want you to over dry your skin. So I would alternate this one with either our Orchid Ginseng Green Tea Cleanser or our exfoliating cleanser, depending on how sensitive you are. Now, obviously, the powerhouse ingredient on this one is going to be the glycolic acid. It also has a food grade driver called MSM to drive that glycolic acid into your pores so it can actually lift, compacted debris out of your pores and help you break down a breakout and get rid of it. We also have white willow bark in it, which is a natural form of salicylic acid. So this cleanser is truly amazing and a fraction of the cost for other acneic products out there, like say Proactive. It's a big bottle for a little cost, and it packs a punch. So that's our cleansers for our step 1. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope it helps you decide what you need for you and for your client.